Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are all welcome to Edos in Diaspora Forum, where we'll be discussing the security issue of our dear state, Edo State. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ. You are all welcome to Edos in Diaspora Forum. Please, I'm sorry for that. Let me. The security issue. Okay. I'm getting a feedback from the YouTube channel. So as I said, we are here to have interaction section on the issue concerning security in our dear state, Edo State. Want us to know that today we'll be speaking with Mr. Haruna Yusuf, the former SA to the governor on security matters. So please stay tuned as I bring Mr. Haruna to the platform. I think our guest is in the house. Mr. Haruna Yusuf just joined the Zoom.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir. You're welcome.
I trust everyone is good.
Yes, we are fine. And you?
I'm good. I'm very well.
Good. We are very happy to have you in our midst.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Please, I just need a minute or two to put the setting right before we start.
Yes. Are you open?
Yeah.
What is the roast?
Mr. Coordinator, please, President Roland.
Sir, we are with you.
Yeah, please, as our visitor is already in, I want to quickly tell you too, I'm at work, you can see me, but it is not good I absent myself from this kind of meeting.
Yes.
But what I want to say is please mute everybody apart from you and our guests. So if anybody has anything to say, mute. So that's my finding. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Avelia said that to the house. Everybody should mute. If you want to ask question or you want to contribute, then you can indicate interest. We'll let you have time to ask question or contribute to whatever we are doing here. So we'll be starting in 2 minutes. I just have to put 1 or 2 settings in order so we kickstart. Yes, once again, good evening to everybody here, all members of Edos in Diaspora, our guests, our visitors, and all Edo people. This evening, we will be discussing issue concerning security in our dear state, Edo State. And we are glad we have our guest speaker today in the name of Mr. Haruna Yusuf, the former special advisor to the governor on security matters. So he will be briefing us things about the vigilante group, which is the reason why we are here. Because I believe all Edo people in diaspora, some of the Edo people in diaspora has been asking one question or the other regards to the vigilante group, how we can be able to support the vigilante group in Edo State. So that is the reason why we deem it necessary to reach out to, I will use the word, the boss, the man, the brain behind the vigilante group in Edo State, the man who is doing the reform of the vigilante group, to join us and speak to the Edo people in diaspora so that we will be equipped with the information about the vigilante. So I would want to officially welcome Mr. Haruna Yusuf. I don't know if you can open your cam so that Edo people in diaspora will know whom we are talking to. So if that is possible, you can unmute, open your cam.
Yeah, I'm trying to, I don't know what happened. I think, is it system or something? 1 second, please. I'm trying to adjust my system.
Okay, okay.
I don't know what happened. It just showed me what I didn't ask for. See, done speaking. What do you mean done speaking? How did they enter driving mode? I don't understand. Is it from? Hello?
Okay. If you want to show your video, you have to just click on the video camera sign.
I know, but he's not giving me that now. Did you just switch to safe driving mode? And I didn't apply for that.
Okay.
Get back from it. Okay, let me.
You can just log out and re-log in again.
Exactly.
You log out, set it, yeah. So as we are waiting for Mr. Haruna to come back, I'm still going to continue by welcoming our people to this very forum, this interaction section. You are all welcome to this online meeting. We are here to discuss the security matters in our dear state, Edo State. So please, we are going to maintain decorum here. If you want to ask questions, you use the icon to raise up your hand, or you just raise up your hand so we can allow you to ask questions. And please, we are going to maintain our time by using our 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Question or contribution should not be more than 2 minutes, please.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Okay, yeah, I'm back now.
Thank you.
Can you see me?
We can all see you.
Okay, great. Once again, good evening, everyone in the house. And let me thank you once again for inviting me for this meeting. It's my pleasure to join you people at this moment to discuss the security of Edo State and probably to partner to see that Edo people can sleep in their homes with their two eyes closed and do business without fear of being harassed by these criminal elements. Well, like you just said now, the brain behind or the idea behind setting up the Edo Community Vigilante Network is born out of the aftermath of NSAS protest. It's Nigeria has a security challenge, which is peculiar to all the states in Nigeria. So it's not peculiar to only Edo State alone. It's a general problem. And we believe that the federal government is doing the best that they know to do. And Edo State government is busy with the one that concerns Edo State. Now, after the NSAS protest, we found that the best way to protect ourselves is just by ourselves. We found that the security architecture, the federal security architecture that every state adopts and service is not designed in a way that can provide a lasting solution to our insecurity problem. After the NSAS protest, which was hijacked by criminal elements, because the criminal elements are more organized by the good people, they went and break the two prison facilities that we have in Benin City, the White House and the one at Oko, where almost 2,000 inmates escaped into the community to further worsen the situation of security that was already fragile. So what happened now is that the policemen, after the incident, because of the way they were being harassed by the hoodlums, by burning down about 4 or 5 police stations, they carted their guns away. They burned down about 8 or 9 police vehicles, and they hurt and armed many policemen. The policemen got angry and they decided to stay back in their various barracks, while Edo people were at the mercy of these criminal elements. So our thought is, are we going to allow the situation to persist to continue in that order? No. Okay, if we're not, what can we do differently to alleviate the suffering of our people? So we came into the reality of the situation, and we also x-ray all the effort of the previous state governors and government that have applied to have their own state police. And of course, it's no longer history that each time such bill gets to the National Assembly, it is turned down. On sentiment that borders on either they're saying that we are not matured enough to have state security, or they're saying the funding is going to be a problem. Now, we now have a situation where a father continues to raise children and you ask his eldest children to continue to nurture them, and they should never have theirs. What do I mean by that is that year in, year out, federal government recruit people into the police, into the army, and other security agencies. But the operational element of all these federal security agencies is being handled and managed and financed by state governors. And I have said it in many fora that if state governors hands off the management support, the financial support to the federal security agencies in Nigeria, we will have no security. I know this because I've been in this environment for quite some time. But at the same time, they call the governor the chief security officers of the states, whereas they do not have the commanding control over the service chiefs that are posted to the states. All of this we look at. We now said, okay, if crime and criminality are local, then we have to come down to the basis. And the only leverage we have, which has a legal backing in a way, is the vigilante outfit, which has been existing from time immemorial. So the initiative was launched by saying, okay, who are these guys who have been in the vigilante system? And they are all spread around. So what we have done is to bring all this leadership or the existing vigilantes around and now synergize them and allow them to create. We created a platform where all these vigilantes can see one another in terms of operation. If something is happening in Ugbowo and it's beyond the vigilante in Ugbowo, the ones around the Ring Road urban market will pull out, just the same way the military and the police operates. They'll go and support them, rather than the piecemeal that they were doing before that was not really counting. And again, when the house has now become a very big house. But the big picture of the project is that we want to have the community vigilante across all the communities in Edo State. We want to possibly have them on all the streets in Edo State. And we have done studies. The studies that we have carried out about the number of communities we have in the 3 senatorial districts. We have 1,416 communities in Edo State. And we have 192 wards, and we have 18 local government and 3 senatorial districts. That is what makes up of Edo State. Now, the idea is that if we have vigilante across all these communities, even if they are 2255 or whatever number that the community decide to give to us, we would have successfully created a security network where no criminal element can ever have a place to hide. The local vigilante in the community may not have the capacity to attack probably these Fulani men who carry AK-47, but they will definitely have the capacity to run behind their house and call the command and control center that the government and the governor has already built, where the action party can now move and the other vigilantes across the other nearby communities can react, and we can clone and corner this criminal element within the 1,000 square. That's about one kilometer square. Instead of having to comb entire bush that traverse kilometers, if we have a timely information, we can be able to circle them up. And most of this kidnapping happens in the daytime. So we cannot mistake the criminal element for the victims. So the idea is, if we have this information network across all the communities, across all the streets in Edo State, the criminal element will not have where to hide or where to plan their nefarious activities. The Fulani kidnappers who are collecting ransom in the bush, they do not spend that money in the bush. It's somebody that is buying bread, coke, and whatever for them to feed their victims. If we have this, if by the time we are done building this community vigilante across the 1,416 communities and across all the streets we have in Edo State, it does mean that if we see anybody, usually they use the indigens to buy them bread, pure water, and this. And you see somebody come into the village square and buy 5, 10, 20 loaves of bread and 1 carton of mineral and is going towards the bush. Only this vigilante will have got to challenge that person. Okay, where are you taking this to? So with that, we can cut short their food supply chain. If we succeed in cutting off their food supply chain, they will never be able to survive even in the forest. That is number one weapon. Number two is that the command and control center will receive timely information, which is also, timely information is actionable information, that can cause a reaction that we can use to quickly put these guys under serious check. Because Edo State government is already revamping the Wabaisigan outfit, where we're going to have the agro rangers of the NSCDC, the counter-terrorists of the police, and the IRT of the police. Then we'll have the soldiers, the DSS, Air Force, everybody working under this command and control center. The command and control center is fully ready now. We have applied to the NCC. Approved state a 3-digit number, a toll-free digit number, with which anybody can call in Edo State to reach the command and control center without any hindrances. We have trained about 75 call receivers who are going to be on 3 shifts, and they have already started working. They're already on payroll. We have trained 14 policemen attached to the command and control center. We have trained 2 doctors, 2 nurses. We have trained the road safety. We have trained some of our people from all the security agencies, because the command and control center has a space where all the representatives of the security agencies will sit down and also listen to all the call that comes in, so that they can action and follow up on any incident that is reported to the command and control center. So therefore, what we are trying to do is to build several layers of security network, which the vigilante is one. The focus is that if police decide to even go on strike in the near future, we will not have a repeat of the situation that we had after the NSAS protest. As it stands today in Edo State, and I'm sure you people, your ears are here back home, and you're hearing about what we are doing. As it stands today, nobody can come into Benin and commit a crime and be able to go out, day in, or either in the daytime or in the night time. Because the vigilante now, the one we have even built already, they are well spread and they are well networked, and they are working together. The synergy is super. We are working with the police, we are working with the DSS, we are working with the army. In fact, if army, the police are going on operation now, they have now incorporated us to be part of the people that will go for the striking. So for me, it's getting better. My joy is that the security agencies who would have resisted what we are doing have even applauded us, and they have chosen to work with us effectively well. Then people will ask, these people, they don't have training. Yes, we have not trained them, except for the little training we are giving to them now, but the real full-blown training has not been given. But the reason we started this pilot exercise from the existing vigilante is that some of them already have this small idea about how to arrest, how to relate with the DPO. Some of them already know the DPO. So it's not going to be a difficult thing for us to blend all the security layers together. That's what we are doing right now. Now, the training will come. We are organizing the training. In fact, there is a body who offered to even train them free for us. And there are other ones. The police will do the training, the DSS will also do the training, and the NSCDC. But first is that the first thing is the profiling, because we want to remove the shaft from the seats. Because if we don't do proper profiling and investigation of these people who are already in now, we don't want to train criminal elements or a cultist who will come and scatter the entire project. So the DSS, they will come. I think we have already given them a letter. They will soon commence the profiling of all the people who are under the platform as it stands. Once the profiling is done and we're able to screen out the bad elements, the training will commence. The training will commence. Edo State government is ready to partner once the structure is fully built. But clearly, like I said in my last presentation, if you look at the number of communities now, 1,416, even if it's 555 men per each of this community, and we also have the ones in the metropolis and the city center. If you put all of this together, the number will be so huge that the maintenance and the sustainability might pose a challenge to state government. And that's why I said, when you said, oh, how can we support? I also said, the state government have already designed a security architecture. And when this was launched, they also launched it with Security Trust Fund. This Edo State Security Trust Fund was launched and they have an account. But I said, if anybody wants to support, there are two ways that people can support. One thing that is very, very central as we speak now is mobility. Nobody does security job using leg to run after criminal elements. Mobility is central for whatever anybody want to say. Communication is second. But I have said in my previous conversation that if you go about buying walkie-talkie, if it's not suitable for the command and control center that we already have, it might just amount to waste of money, which will not be appreciated. But since we have, the Edo State have the Security Trust Fund, I have said, if people have a financial assistance they want to render to Edo State, they can issue it in form of check and they will send their representative to come and present it to the governor of Edo State. I also want your effort to be recognized by government of the day. I want your legacy to also remain so that the younger generation can also copy something. But if you also choose to buy vehicles, maybe Hilo, Sienna, or for the purpose of this exercise, it's also welcome. It can be branded and put that Edo people in diaspora donated this to support the activities of the security agencies or the vigilante in Edo State. It will be there. It will also be presented to government, and government can now see it to the outfit, which for me, that makes a lot of things because we are talking about management of the state security. We cannot do without the government. Nobody is independent here. It's only government who have the power to allow us to do exactly what we are doing now. So if anything is coming, I think it's supposed to go through that same government so that at least the man at the end of affairs, in terms of my boss now, Governor Godwin Obaseki, we recognize that, oh, these people did not that they supported him for the election and they have not still abandoned him, even in terms of security challenge. For me, I think this will receive a lot of applause, and I believe it will be something that I will love to do and support too. So the project is an Herculean task, but for me, it's a project that is worth me, and I believe that I have committed my time, my pleasure time, my family time to this project until I see it running. So you people joining us, it can only get better. And we can assure you that for every cover that is sent to Edo State government, it will be put into judicious use. I will wait. This is my presentation, but if there's any question about the gray areas, I'll be willing to respond. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you to Edo people in diaspora, to all Edolites that are present in this forum today. Like I earlier said, Mr. Haruna have just given his presentation on what is on ground by the state government today in the area of this Edo Community Vigilante Network. So please, my brothers and sisters here, if you want to ask questions, just indicate and we'll let you have your 2 minutes. Question or contribution, please, let's try to, manage our time so that it will go around. Because we are not going to keep Mr. Haruna here for the whole day. So I can see Pastor Wellington. Please, you can unmute and ask your question.
Thank you very, very much. I just want to congratulate everyone for bringing up this topic. And I can see some powerful people in the house. I don't just want to mention names. I welcome you all. I just want to actually comment and then bring in some questions, and then let us see. In the next 2 minutes, I'll be ready. I want to actually congratulate the vigilantes, those ones that are putting their life online for others to have a perfect time in their homes and all. It's a very good idea. But I surely want to also let everyone know that there's a problem somewhere, and we are trying to solve a problem with a problem. That is how I feel, because there's no one that can solve a problem. The only thing you can do is to go to the why, the reason why the problem is there. Now, I ask myself, now the vigilantes are doing a good work. When their work is no more needed, what are we going to do with these youths? Now the education, now they are not learning, they don't have a work, they don't have any other thing they can rely on. Are we not creating another problem for the generations to come? I respect our governor, Obaseki. He's doing a perfect job and he's doing a very good job. But I wonder, when he's no more there, and can we still handle this situation? That's my fear. And if the police are applauding the vigilante, then we have a problem. Then I ask myself, why are they not collecting the taxpayers' money as a salary every month? And then I say, I think the education is paramount in anything you do in life, because these are the youths that are going to take over in the nearest future. Now, I also want to let our people know that these things, it's not that they are not doing a good job, but I have seen on videos the way they are arresting people. Some are good, some are not good. But our brother told us that the education or the training is not there yet, but the education will come. In my sense or way of thinking, I don't think you should start to drive a car if you don't have a license or if you don't know how to drive. That is where I have my problem, and that's why I have my feeling. I'm not saying this is bad. I'm ready to invest and I'm ready to support them. But every support we are going to do, please let it go to the government purse and let the government have these people as their own as they send them out. Because when we are buying a car here, we are buying a this there, we are giving to this group. I don't know if we'll be able to have this authority over them. And I will also want to speak out that please let us launch this vigilante. Let everybody in the state be part of it. The market woman, the people on the street, the teachers, even if it's a cupboard they are putting, let everyone back them up. We in the diaspora, all the people that are Edo-loving people, let us launch it and let us put that money in one place and help them. Thank you very much for this time.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Your point is well noted. The next person here is Apostle Steve. Apostle Steve, you can unmute.
Good evening to everybody. I want to thank God for everybody, and I want to thank God for the people of Edo State for this wonderful time that we have together. I just have only question. My question is, I want to ask Mr. Haruna, Yusuf, that how much is the budget of Edo security annually? How much is the budget? Then number two, why do we have insecure prison? Because you were once in the administration of Oshomole. Why do we have insecure prison? A prison that was built with blocks. You cannot build a prison with blocks. You build it with this high secure concrete that cannot be broken even with a bomb. So that is number two. Then number three, have you, Haruna, have you discussed with the state governor concerning this security matter and how to handle it? Then the last one, why is it that the federal government, we have oil, we have resources, cannot provide security for the citizen? These are my questions. I don't have any contribution.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please, if somebody else want to ask a question, you can just indicate and ask your question so that we can allow our guest, Mr. Haruna, to take the question. If you are in the house, you listen to the presentation of Mr. Haruna Yusuf, and you want to ask him a question, please do, just as the apostle have just asked a question now? If not, I think I will leave the floor for Mr. Haruna to answer to the question that is on ground. Mr. Haruna, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I want to thank those people, the people that have either contributed or asked questions. The first speaker raised issue about solving problem with using another problem, and that when Governor Obaseki is done, what now happened to the assistance of the vigilante? For me, I like to say that there are two legacies that a man leaves behind. Nobody has come to live in this world forever. Those things that you are able to do, and you do them while you are in position, that's number one. And those things that you are supposed to do or you are able to do while in office that you fail to do, those are the two legacies. I cannot speak for what happened when Governor Obaseki will be done with his 8 years in office. And I'm not sure even the governor himself will be in position to say so. But all I know is that all that Governor Obaseki is doing is building a structure just like you have in other clients, where it doesn't matter who becomes the president or whoever becomes the governor after his tenure, a structure that can be subsisting. For example, when Governor Oshomole was at the helm of affairs of Edo State, he established the ICT department, and he also established the Operation Thunderstorm. When Obaseki came, he has since brought new innovation to the ICT department. And the Thunderstorm of then has now been revamped, not dismissed, revamped, and is now named Wabaizigan. In security police, anything that brings peace, that brings security to the state, I do not think anybody who becomes governor will come and dismiss it. This structure that we are building, this new Edo security architecture, is not designed. That's why we are not in a hurry to make pronouncement about all that we are doing. But what Governor Obaseki is doing is to establish a security platform that will not be a reactive kind of security system. Oh, it's happening. Oh, there is police. Oh, it's happening. Listen, you want to build a structure.
Mr. Nessie, mute yourself. You are disturbing the...
I did not meet him. I did not the host.
Mr. Nessie, mute yourself.
Okay.
The anchor, the host can also mute anybody.
Let the host should mute everybody. So
host, mute everybody.
Yes.
It's fine, but don't watch him beneath him.
Mr. Haruna, you can unmute yourself, sir.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
So, yeah, the issue here is that the legacy that the governor is trying to build is a legacy that will surpass his term in office as governor of Edo State. And that's why it's putting it on a solid foundation, which will be backed up by law. And as we speak, is building a barrack that can house all these outfits that I've talked about. He's also trying from the meager resources to secure vehicles for this operation to see the light of the day. Then about the training, you spoke about you don't buy a car before you get a driver license. Sorry, I don't know how you put it. But what I understand is that why engaging them before the training? Well, I can tell you that I don't know where they train before they recruit, But number one is that this vigilante, this community vigilante, is a child of necessity. Necessity in the sense that when the entire system, security system has broken down, the army were blackmailed, they retreated back to their barracks. The police were attacked, they retreated back to their barracks. The DSS restrained themselves within their barracks. Everybody was left in the hand of, at the mercy of these hoodlums. And when we spring this outfit, we were able to put all this crime and criminality under serious check. What we are doing now, we have stabilized the system now. The next thing is, how do we institutionalize this outfit in a way that we can control and command them, so that in the end, they don't become a problem to the society? And that's why I said to you, I said, what we are doing now, the stage we are now is profiling. We are profiling everybody who is good. We are not involved in the recruitment. Don't forget, it's the community. Communities suggest those they think can protect them from their own community. Edo state government have not recruited, or anybody has not recruited one person for any community. Is it the community when they come and say, "Okay, we have our own boys who are vigilante," airport put it on the platform. That's what we have done so far. But at the same time, we must check the credibility, because government will take over the payment of allowances, buying of vehicles, and their maintenance when this structure is fully formed. But at this pilot stage now, we have to do due diligence. Nothing lasts forever. It's just like the, what's it called? NSCDC, we call them Civil Defense Corps. It was a voluntary organization in the past, if you don't forget, sir. It was a voluntary organization. But once it was institutionalized, the regulations was released, the recruitment regulation, the training regulation, and they were departmentalized. And that is why we have them as one of the official federal government security today. It's the same thing where we are doing. What do we do? How do we structure them in a way that we can control them, so that they don't also become, we are mindful of that, of the fact that when you give power to certain element, over time, it's possible for them to abuse it. So we are working seriously on that. We have a structure that we have developed that we house all of this. But first, we have to make sure that people can sleep in their home and do their businesses. That is what we have done so far. Then, what is the other one? So that will answer the last question that you asked about whether we're still going to have authority over them. Of course, we are going to have authority over them, because in the end, we are going to have the state commandant or the state coordinator, like we already have on the temporary note now. They have a state coordinator now, they have command and control that we have developed for them, where they call that, okay, something is happening here, everybody is aware. Okay, who are the nearest vigilante? Pull there. Oya, call the police patrol to join you. And they move there. They circled up the whole place. When the police go, if it's beyond them, or many a time they have already done the arrest before the police arrival. And that's fine. We are also going to subject them to thorough profiling by each divisional police officer and the DSS. The DSS and the police will do the profiling. We will know who they are, where they came from, who they were before. All of this we are putting into consideration. And I'm very, very sure that at the end, we will have a structure that will answer all our questions. Then, Apostle Steve Oscar, you talked about how much is the security budget of Edo State per annum. I do not know, apart from the budget that was approved by the House of Assembly. But you know that budgetary budget that is subjected to the House of Assembly approval is not the reality of the, it's a projection, it's an assumption that we are expecting so amount of money before the year runs out. We want to do ABCD. So money is budgeted for capital, for security, for all sorts of things. But the reality on the ground, sometimes because of the fluctuation of the market, and you know Nigeria is solely depending on oil, crude oil to run their economy. So when this crude oil price fluctuates, that's how it also affects every other plan of every state government or local government or even the federal government. So to speak on the particular amount of money that government need to spend for security in a year, I do not have that answer. And maybe as we are moving on, I'm sure Governor will even join us one of these days in this meeting. He will be able to speak categorically on this area. So I'm not an authority to say any particular thing, but I know there are always budget for security. Then you ask another question that I work with Oshomole, why do we have insecure prisons? Apostle, I'd like to mention to you that the prisons are not under the control and command of state governments. Prisons are under the presidential list. They are executive list under the federal government. They are not under the control of state governments. Yet we partner with them for logistic support and other support that they ask from state government. But Edo State is not in charge of any prison. By Nigerian law, the prisons are created under the exclusive list, not the residual list. So it's the federal government's problem. We do not know how the prison is built or how it is managed. But the leadership, they are members of the State Security Council. So we do support them for their operations or whatever need that's within the capacity of the state government to do. That is what we do with the prisons. We do not either during the time of Oshomole or during the time of Obaseki. And up to date, Edo State government doesn't have the control over our prisons. But because of the damage that was caused during this last NSAS project, Governor Obaseki has taken it upon himself now to strengthen the security of the two prisons that were broken. And as we speak, he's trying to help them put a new device, a new structure that can further strengthen the prison in a way that it cannot be easily broken, just like they did the last time. That is on his own personal discretion that is doing that one. I'm sure the job is presently on top gear because I visited that place sometimes early January to see the progress they have made on that job. So that is that about that. And you said the last question was whether government is aware of this outfit. Of course. Can you operate in a state where this governor is the chief security officer and spring an outfit without the government knowledge? Nobody does that. I do not have any power of my own other than the fact that we are under the appointment of Governor Godwin Obaseki. And that is what I have spoken about from the onset. So these are the issues on the ground. I do not know whether this my statement have answered all the questions, because these are all the questions that I jotted, and I think I've responded to them all. So thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Haruna. We have Mr. Kingsley, who are just indicated to ask question or contribute. Mr. Kingsley, you can unmute on your video.
Yes. Sorry, I cannot on my video because the environment I am now is not very conducive. So
all right, you can have your question.
Please, will you forgive me?
Yeah, continue, sir.
All right, I'm going to be very brief about it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Haruna, for joining us this evening. My name is Kingsley Omobude.
Okay.
Yes. Please, what I want to know, because we have been having a lot of security challenge, all over the nation. And there's one that is very particular about Edo State. That is cultism. Cultism has really claimed a lot of lives in Edo State. And now, with this vigilante group, what are the criteria you are using to engage the vigilante, to get them employed in the system, of this security? Because we don't want a situation whereby will now kind of recruit some of these cultist members into the vigilante group and thereby sabotaging the efforts of the vigilante group, and they cannot be able to function very well. So what are the criteria? What do you have on ground, to engage this vigilante or to get them recruited? Thank you. That was my question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kingsley. Mr. Smith Ebuwa, you can unmute and give your contribution or a question.
Okay, thank you very much. Unfortunately, I can't come on video because of the environment I am too. Let me first of all appreciate Mr. Haruna for the good work you are doing. And I thank every participant in this platform today for sparing your time to come here and participate in the issue of Edo State. So this matter concerns every one of us. It is just so alarming that this thing is happening in our own state, and there is no, just like the criminals, they are doing whatever they are doing and they are going scot-free with it. Just like the last person that spoke just now, he made mention of the cultists. First of all, that was how it started. We've been having the issue of armed robbers in Benin City ever since then, but it wasn't alarming like this. We have cultists that these days is like they were having a free license, especially at the time of Oshomole government, and then come our present governor now. Then just like as if that was subsiding, so it was now amplified by this what is it called, Fulani herdsmen and the kidnappers. So not just to be mentioning all this problem, we are looking for a solution to it now. I will say what Mr. Haruna said. I see it to be totally, because I listened to his analysis, I see it to be totally unattainable. That is something that we cannot, if we recruit them today, just like what Pastor Uswanlele said just now, the money, how long can we retain these people after training them, maybe without a subsistent, or let me say constant budget, annual budget from the government? Because we cannot continue. You can't, like, maybe we put hands together now and pay first month, 6 months or 8 months salary that we will use in paying all these people and buy whatever that is needed for them. And after that, the government will say they cannot, they don't have enough money. There's no budget for all these things, and then these people will not be having money. So what will happen to them from that very point? We know, like, just like what we have said, what the first man said before, that after recruiting these people, training them, if they are not being paid after 2, 3, 4 months, what they will continue. I mean, the same crime that they were meant to deter, they will continue in the same way, just like our police, just like what Nigerian police are doing. I think the best way, the best approach to this would have been to train the community. Let every community bring out 10, 15, 20 people, as much as they can, as big as the community. The government will train them, and this community, they know how they do their things. Maybe they can choose, plan a rota for them. Then you plan the logistics for them to be reporting anything that happened. And this will be free without government paying anything to it. It will be based on the community, how community can manage themselves. So for us to be putting something together, how long can we do that? Or where would the money be coming from to pay these people? That's my question.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. I think we should just take another question so that Mr. Haruna will take the 3 together. I saw a hand of one Mr. Musa Amadu. Sir, thank you. Thank you.
My name is High Chief Mr. Musa Amadu. Okay. I'm the chairman of Edo Security Consultative Forum. I must tell you, thank you and congratulations for this Zoom you've put together. It's not easy. And we Edo people should start appreciating ourselves better. That's why I have slowed this time to say, let me attend, because that is a better way to understand that we are all working together. For the record, Yusuf Haruna is a personal friend. Is somebody I've known for years. I was in Benin City. I only came back on the 25th of this month. I left. I was in Benin between 19th and 25th of this month. I met with him. Yusuf Haruna, thank you for attending this Zoom. And this is the first time I will see public office holder explaining what they are doing. I'm not here to say, oh, we've discussed in our meeting. I'm not here to tell the public how the security matter is going, but I will say thank you for your effort. Keep it up. We are working together and we'll continue to do so. We in diaspora, we are on ground. So when I came to Benin City, remember I told you, I said, I want to find out what is the problem in Edo State. I move around. If I say 80% it's not like this, it's like that, it looks as if I'm a paid agent. The answer is no. The issue of security in Edo State can be further persecuted by we in diaspora by playing that supportive role. And that is why in our forum we call it consultative. We are not to tell government what to do. What we are telling them is, what are your challenges? Where can we help? And that was why I was in Benin. And the meeting was very wonderful. You must convey to Comrade Shaibu, because you all supported us. And for me, I'm excited. Anywhere Edo is mentioned, I'm just there. And I'm happy you people are doing what you're supposed to do. And I'm also happy that with diaspora, we are not sleeping after the election. So I don't have any question for you. I only want to tell you thank you, you and the government, that I'm happy you are responding to we Edo people in diaspora, because this is the first time in Edo politics where diaspora people have been listened to. When I came to Benin with that appointment, you put everything together. The states, we sat down, we had a meeting again and again. For me, that was respect of the first order. Apart from we being friends, government job was done. And I can tell people in this forum that please support Edo State government in any capacity. And we are in safe hands. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chief. I would want to ask, Chief, if it's possible for us, those in diaspora, to have your contact details.
Yes.
So that we can reach you after this time, so that we can work together.
Yes, but it's a very exciting moment that for the first time, Edo people are not fighting one another. We are not running each other down. We are looking for solution. Yes. And I think that is quite so because of our age. Our children are grown now. That they are not going to Benin, not because they don't like Benin, but that is life. They grew up in a society where the state develop people. And we who are of age now, we are looking for a better Edo State where security is paramount. Then you can actually go, go back home and do what you want to do. When I went to Benin, I was not having any problem. I didn't take Mopo because I didn't need Mopo. I didn't need bodyguard. All I did was just common sense application. Yeah.
You should have traveled to Yokoriomo, sir.
Yeah, but in Yokoriomo, for a start, they are doing well because the vigilante network has covered Edo State in a way that they use intelligence to fight security issues. Security has changed. It's no longer a case carrying gun blocking road. Anytime in Benin, two Agberos are quarreling, they say security is ungovernable. It doesn't work like that. The way it works is, if the state is doing what they are doing now before, the story would have changed, honestly. Look at other states in Nigeria. We cannot be immune from what is happening in Nigeria. It's not possible. So Oriyekoriomo is not a bad place to be. It's not a bad place to do anything. It's just that because the media is free, people tend to post anything they want to post. But you look at the UK or wherever you are, you can see how the state deal with security. How many of us send text to police and say Yokoriomo is like this or like that? I think people like yourself should be a better ambassador than those people posting those videos, because those videos, I'm not telling you they are wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm only saying that we in diaspora must have an informed view without playing to sentimental posting. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
let me give you my number and we can chat again. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
My name is Musa Amedu, M-U-S-A. Amedu is A-M-E-D-U. My phone number 07951 086 526. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So now let's have our Ipa Kennedy Igariwa from Japan. Sir, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. This is Igariwa Kennedy from Japan. You know, the security matters, security issues is actually very challenging. I just want to add my voice to what people must have suggested. Before then, I want to appreciate Mr. Haruna for taking his time to come here to, you know, educate us on what is going on. If I may suggest, I know that security issues are very challenging. If I may suggest, it might take about a year, 2 or 3 years from now, if the government of the day should start, you know, registering people from the Benin City to the villages and all the camps. You know, that will help a lot in sanitizing every nooks and crannies of the state. For example, what is obtainable here in Japan, the moment you acquire a new house or a new home, you go to the city hall and register with the city hall. The government is now aware that you live in such an apartment or such a house. Whatever happens, they are able to trace you. If anybody is moving to any community, that person should be able to register with the, is it the city hall or the local government offices? So that it will be very easy to trace criminals and whatever is happening in any society. You know, in the aspect of, you know, finances, it might be very difficult for the government of the day, coupled with the fact that, you know, the mega resources that is accruable to every state these days because of the low price of the, you know, oil commodities. It's difficult to finance security issue these days. If I may borrow from what Mr. Smith suggested, the communities can take care of their vigilantes if they will have reputable people from every society or every community that can volunteer to help in policing or securing our various communities. I think that would be most appropriate than the government, you know, budgeting some money and after some time the money get exhausted and the people that are in charge goes back to criminality or whatever. You know, let me cut it short. Thank you very much. It's just my candid suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. I saw the name with Sandali. Please, you can unmute and, if possible, open your video and contribute.
Okay. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, we are hearing you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I once again to appreciate. I'm here from Torino, Italy. So the last man that just spoke now, as you can see, I put it on. I also put it on the write-up. He have really spoken my mind. So here in Italy, we call it codice fiscale, which is identity number that everybody must have as far you have been in Europe. So this one serves to identify everybody in a society. So that is a very important way of identifying everybody. Thank you. That is my suggestion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Yes, let's also give it up for our IPA ambassador, Matthew Owaifo. Ambassador, sir.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Can you all hear me, please?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
I must commend everybody participating. program. Our passion for state shines through.
Sir,
And
the network is breaking.
Whatever opinion, and the host should please note them because every opinion is important. Is it okay now? Hello.
You can off your video.
Hello?
You can off your video. Let's try it that way.
Just talk to us with your audio.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Very, very clear.
Okay. Okay. I will go straight to my point. First of all, to be able to put any structure down takes time. And if you check Benin history, this issue of security has persisted for such a long time, even before some people in this platform were born. I still remember the time of Kokobioko. If some elders here, they would remember that. Commander was brought to stop the then killing and marauding in the society, and he succeeded very well. After that, Ogbemudia came in 1967 and arrested all the thieves like Obokege, Wawa in Ogbe, and paraded them at the public square. And after that, there have been so many other incidents. So what am I saying? A trend has been laid all this. Baseki came in, and with the way the diasporans are Edo living in diaspora are allowing themselves to be used to cause panic. Every video, every writing is on the side of despondency. No one taking action, but all they are doing, some people even doctor videos from Chad, doctor gentlemen, let me tell you, as then I've been in Benin. At the airport. I happened to be at the airport when I was welcoming investors to Edo State. I have welcomed investors to Edo State since January, February. And I must tell everybody here, my duty is this. I'm on the ground and I have traveled around the nook and corner of Edo State at my own personal risk to see things on first-hand information. Like for example, somebody mentioned the Yekoriomo. I stayed 2 days in Uronigbe. It's not that I'm reading it in a newspaper or anything. I've not been writing anything on any group. So I can say this now. I stayed 2 days in Uronigbe. After the Uronigbe rubber estate, you have the forest stretching from there. And to enter Uronigbe, you either take the old road or you enter from Delta State, branch of Atagbo. Now, the road from Delta State, Agbo is very bad, very, very bad. And the bad spots there, thank God that the state government is now patching it up. Now, the other road, the old road, the other side of it, from Edo State itself, the road has long stretches where you neither see anybody or anything. Also, I was told, Ugonoba, that there were a lot of problems that way. I went on that road from Ugoneki up to Isi to come out in a hall. And from there too, I went to Ekenisi and other areas surrounding that place. Well, it is not that people don't know the information. I must really thank Yusuf Haruna for the wonderful job that the vigilantes are doing. But the point is this, like the former speaker said, the places that the vigilante, the Fulani herdsmen are well known. But right now, the state government is not making noise about it. Not for this forum, myself too, I don't want to make it. What is important is we have a problem on hand. And that problem is being solved. Adaga, Ewoimi, Zia, Road Forest, Udo, Joba, Road Forest, Ubiaja, Okweton, Ella, Road Forest, Ahia, Ubiaja, Eko, Beha. Sorry if I can't pronounce it correct. Road Forest, Bini, Auchi, Ageni Bode, Aviele, Road Forest, Ekwama, Bini Forest, to Bini Bypass, and forest including Atwogo and Ibore Forest in Emado. Ewoimi, Ewato Bypass Forest to Ibu in Delta State, Ebela, Ewasa, Amaho Forest, Ekon, Igbodo Road, Ubui Forest, which links Ewoimi and Emosa Forest. And when you come to the Bini areas, you will find out that the hotspots are used to be Uronibe Umutu Forest after the rubber plantation road forest, and Uronibe Oyoko Habavo Road Forest. Okay, Abudu or Orada and Igbanke and Ozane Ogogoro Road Forest. Oben, Bini Forest, Ologbo, Bini and Koko Road close to Saple Forest. Ubomoson, Ugoneki, Ugonobe, Okichukupa in Ondo State. These are areas bordering Edo State. So to just cut it short, I have been to these areas and I have seen that the local vigilantes themselves, some of them I snap pictures with them. They are organized in village form, and the apparatus that the state government has put in place is very effective right now. Like, for example, contrary to stories going around the internet and all that and so on, Benin, as I'm talking to you now, it's 9 o'clock. Old Airport Road, if you go to Airport Road, shops are open, the bars are open. If you go to Sakpamba, Upper Sakpamba, the shops are open, you know? So all it takes, and I want to tell the diaspora is this, is there in every situation. If you have to come home, please maintain a low profile. Maintain a low profile. The days of saying, oh, I'm from the US of A, you know, is gone. Immediately you start that, or go to parties, burial parties, launching parties, you start spraying money anyhow and so on and so forth. You are asking yourself to be mad because a lot of people are hungry. A lot of people are hungry. So you cannot just come, show off, carry your flashy cars and so on and so forth. I have moved around being security conscious. 2 days ago, I even tried it. I stayed outside till 2 a.m. But you see, the way I do my things, I blend to the local population. No one can tell that I'm from overseas. So please, I'm taking a long time. My thing is, this is here. We have all supported Obaseki to become governor for a second term. We put our trust in him. He has an agenda. He's in a better position to know the agenda that can fit Edo State. And he's doing wonders. But what a lot of people want is everyday security report. That cannot happen. That cannot happen. The security situation in Edo State right now has been arrested. You know, I've traveled on Ore Road up to Lagos. I've traveled on Auchi Road to Ekpoma and to this. And I was able to find out that the patches, certain patches are so bad. And there you have to put your vehicle in gear 1. And there are grasses and everything on the side of the road. And it was brought to the attention of the state government. And Obaseki sent people there, they cleared those roads and they patched those areas. And remember, this is a federal road. We cannot be using our money to repair federal roads. What I'm saying, diasporans, please tune your negativity down. Tune your negativity down. And please be positive about your state and let it reflect. There is no need bringing the pictures of Central African Republic, which I see most of the time because it was under my jurisdiction, bringing them and saying this is Edo State. I don't think that will happen. And finally, please, about security, There is nothing called PDP, APC, or whatever party. It touches everybody. A bullet does not know a pastor, a bullet does not know an APC member or PDP member. Neither does chaos. And what the state has done so far is to make sure that instead of the fire brigade approach of solving a problem after it happens, what they are doing is to put down structures that long after Obaseki is gone, the next governor, whoever comes to power, can continue with such structures. Such things are not easy. So I would ask everybody to please be patient with what the government is doing. And as for the funds, like Yusuf Haruna said, there is a security fund, Edos State Security Fund. Whatever donations need to be given should be paid to that fund. And already the villagers are sustaining themselves. Thank you very much. God bless all on this platform.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Can you hear me, please? Can anyone hear me there?
We are all hearing you.
Loud. You are very loud.
All right.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Good evening to everyone. My name is Elvis. I'm the CEO of NIGERIAN. Thank you very much, you all, for the opportunity given to every one of us to do this together today. Yes, I thank you very much, sir, Mr. Yusuf Haruna. Thank you very much for your time with us this evening. We really do appreciate you, and you were very prompt with your time as well. We appreciate that very much. I want to thank you, Mr. Haruna, as well for the good work that you are doing, because we know that you are the brain behind this Edos State Vigilante. Personally, as the CEO of NIGERIAN, I really do applaud you for the good work you are doing right now with the Edos State Vigilante. So we've used our platform continuously to support the Edos State Vigilante, because I'm one of the people that have continuously said that I don't ever want the Edos State Vigilante to be abolished. Regardless of their mistakes, I want them to be there, because I understand that the police are not really that active at the moment. Maybe because of the NSAS that just passed, not quite long. Yes, I'm going to use this opportunity to ask Mr. Haruna some vital questions. I really do appreciate your good work that you're doing for us. And we in Diaspora, because I live in the United Kingdom, but I'm broadcasting right now from Lagos. We in Diaspora, we want to know some certain questions, which I'm going to start by, with, I want to know what advice and plans do you have for Edo people in Diaspora? What I mean by, plans. I want to know, what do you have in place, or the Edo State government have in place to protect the properties of Edo people in Diaspora or their investments? Because Edo people in Diaspora, many of them are scared to come back home to invest. Not that there's no land for them to invest. But the problem is, many of us are scared if we invest in Edo State. For example, you build a hotel, and tomorrow anything happens to your hotel, what do you, Mr. Haruna, or the Edo State government have in place to protect our hard-earned investment in Edo State? That one aside. The next question is, I want to also know that, I want to ask Mr. Haruna as well, what are you currently doing about the threats of Fulani herdsmen? Because the reason why I'm passing these all questions to you, Mr. Haruna, I have so much belief in you. I have so much trust in you. In fact, this initiative of having a Edo State Vigilante is one of the best that happened this year. If it started this year, but I noticed it from 1st of January 2021. So because of that, majority of us in Diaspora are very, very proud of you, Mr. Haruna. So this is why I'm asking, what do you have in place? Or what plans do you have for Fulani herdsmen or Edo State government? And the previous question which I asked about the properties of Edo people in Diaspora. And the last one is, because it's 3 questions. The last one, I'm still going to come back later. But the last one is raising funds to support this organization. Of course, I would love to use my platform to support you guys. Of course, because you guys are doing a great job. Many of us want to come back home. Many of us are even in Nigeria, but we are not going. We are not in Edo State. Many of us are investing in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and every other place. In fact, to the extent many of Edo people are investing in Ghana, you know, because the conduciveness is not actually there in terms of the security. So I want to ask, raising fund, because I listened to some people earlier on saying that if you want to raise this fund, it needs to go to the government's purse. That's fine. Everybody have their own opinion. You know, for me, I will like if this fund wants to be raised, because as long as I have everything to do with my own platform, I want it to be a GoFundMe. The reason why I want it to be a GoFundMe, I want the Edo State government to create a GoFundMe where everybody can see all the money that's going in there. The reason why I'm saying this is this. If this money goes to the Edo State government purse, we cannot monitor it. I'm not going to say that Edo people in diaspora donated $1 billion, $1 million, because we can't see this money. But in GoFundMe, we can see every penny donated by Edos in diaspora. We are willing to support. We are willing to join Edo State government to create a conducive environment for ourselves. But to do this, if it is possible, sir, Mr. Haruna, for Edo State government to create a GoFundMe, we don't want to create that. We don't want to have that under our custody. But at least everybody all over the world can see this. That's my 3 questions to you, Mr. Haruna. Thank you very much for coming out to at least do this for Edo people, both home and away. Thank you very much. That's my questions for now.
Thank you, NAIJA Wash. I think I will let Haruna take these questions before we can now bring more persons with their suggestions and questions. Mr. Haruna, over to you, sir.
Yeah, let me thank everyone who have made comment or contribution in this house. Let me start from Mr. Kingsley or Mobude. You spoke about, you asked a question about what are we really doing about courtism in Edo State. I'm happy that you have asked this question because Edo State has practically become, before now, has practically become the headquarters of courtism in Nigeria. It's like, you know, that wasn't no Edo people for, that everybody must be a man. My first attempt to come to Edo State to work far back, everybody was like, look, you cannot survive there if you don't join their court. And I'm like, how? Are they going to force me to join it? But when I got here, I now understood what those people meant. And I never joined, and I'm still here. Now, what we are doing is like using one stone to kill several birds. With the launching of this community vigilante network, I can tell you now that for the past 2 months now, the courtists, they've started throwing away their guns, and those who want to renounce their membership without being told to do so, they are already approaching courts to swear affidavit and approaching the police that, look, I no longer want to be a courtist. I was there, but I don't want again. The reason is very simple. If there's any gunshot anywhere now, the vigilantes are community-based. They know them. They know these people. They know that they didn't have government backing in the past. That was why they are not able to do exactly what they are doing now. And again, they were in small units. Now they have a bigger unit. It's like trying to say you want to attack a whole police command now. How are you going to succeed? If you attack 1, 2 will come. If you attack 2, 5 will come. If you attack 5, 20 will come, and more will still come. So over time, you will never be able to. No, that's what I say. We are trying to build this vigilante. We want to make it an institution. Institution that whoever becomes governor after Obaseki will not be able to kill it. Because the importance will be so much that nobody with sane brain will say, okay, I want to scrap this. It's not personal and it's not political. Just like one speaker said, it is just pure security. We want security in Edo State. That's what we're doing. So as we speak now, sir, on the issue of courtism, courtism is a crime on its own. there is a law against courtism anywhere in Nigeria. So therefore, when we say the vigilante are fighting insecurity, courtism is one of the prime crime that we are fighting. Because we have our studies and all the arrests we have made so far, as we reveal that most of the criminals in Edo State, they start their activity from being a member of one court or the other. Once they have gone to take all kinds of solution at the drug cartels, they will go back home and pick up their Scott-to-size guns, and the next thing is to look for who collected their girlfriend 2 months ago that they want to kill, and every other person that belongs to that other association. So all of that has been stopped in Edo State as we speak. If anybody fired one gunshot in Edo State now, we are going to chase that person. Even if we enter home, we will follow that person. Until that person is gotten, that gun must be produced, and the person must go to prison. So we don't need to sermonize to anybody. Our actions are speaking loud and clear to everybody. Our mission is clear. If you are into any crime and criminality, stay away or stay out of Edo State. But that you want to stay in Edo State and hide to commit a crime. Over time, we have received a lot of threat message, voice notes that they're going to attack vigilante, and we have told them, come. As we speak now, we have over 2,000 vigilante. Let me see how a court group will enter Edo State and you want to kill 2,000 people at a go, and you will not survive. How is it going to happen? So the issue of courtism, we don't need to tell courtists to leave Edo State. They will voluntarily leave. It's either they renounce their membership or they just walk away from Edo State. Edo State is no longer going to be business as usual. So on the issue of courtism, don't worry. We're handling seriously, and they will tell you how much we are doing in that regard. And many of them are already cooling off. So you say, what are the criteria? The second question is, what are the criteria? What criteria are we using in the recruitment of vigilantes? I have said this in my former presentation, and even today I have said so. Edo State government have not recruited one person into vigilante. Haruna Yusuf, I have not recruited one person into vigilante. We have said it's a community-based security network. So I will call something a community-based security network. What if I'm not from Yekorion? How can I know who can protect the people of Yekorion? What we have sent outside, and I've appeared on the television and radio programs, and I've sent this message, I send my number freely too. It is the community that we suggest those they know that have credibility to protect them. Our business is to absorb them, put them under a common platform, and train them in a way that they will respect human rights without abusing them, and also be able to do their job without fear of favor. This is exactly what we are doing. Now, the network is that if you're in Yekorion, you know what is happening in Benin, we know what is happening in Eko, we know what's happening in Awuchi, we know what is happening in Uromi. So this is where we are. The platform is wide and everybody is on the platform. So the issue of criteria, the community that recruits the people that they trust in, the landlords, the business owners, the farmers, everybody that lives in a community are the one responsible for the recruitment. And they send their name. Our business is to now profile those ones and ensure that they are credible. So that's your second question, sir. Then Mr. Smith, Ebuwa, you said the system is unobtainable. I disagree with you. It is obtainable. You said that where would the money be coming from? I want to tell you, I have been in government for quite some time. And I want to also educate you that all the public policies, no government public policies that lead to budgeting is as a result of one situation or the other. Coronavirus was never budgeted for when it invaded the whole world. But as we speak today, the whole world, no country in the world that has not started budgeting to solving coronavirus problem. And I beg to be rebutted for this. So that is it. Insecurity in Edo State sprang up. We have not actually, even on this platform, Edo State government have not asked anybody for a support. But let me tell you something that you'll be shocked at this. Home base here in Edo State, we have not asked anybody to come and support what the vigilante is doing. But because of our activities and the achievement we have made so far, one person woke up one day, came to my office and donated 3 vehicles in one day. He gave us 2 Heloses and a Sienna. Another one came one day and donated a Volkswagen vehicle. Those are the vehicles you see along Lagos Road and other roads. The Onojo of Ologbo donated a Sienna to us last week. People are coming on their own. In fact, they are asking, if you have a partner I want to put money, I say, no, whatever money you have, put it in Edo State Security Trust Fund, Edo State, because over time, and let me also tell you this, even the vigilantes have not asked us to pay them money because they have been existing before and now brought this idea of synergizing these people and putting them under a common platform. So some of the communities, they are already doing contribution for them, some markets, some streets, some areas. There's a way they organize themselves before. But what was missing was that they were piecemeals. And because of the locality, they do not need vehicle to operate. They do not need so much to operate. But now there's need for it. Because if you look at what we are doing now, it's like a replicate of trying to create a state police platform. But not like the police, because they are not entitled to carry sophisticated weapons like the police and the army. Okay, that's fine. What can we do at that platform? That's why I said what the Edo State government is trying to do is to create different layers of security apparatus, so that if one fails, the next one will not fail. If another one, the next below it will not fail. So that in the end, nobody will be at the mercy of criminal elements. So, but as it stands now, because we have foreigner criminals in our land, vehicles will be required, motorcycles will be required, even bicycle will be required, because of those people who live and stay in the communities where the roads are not that motorable. They will need motorbike, at least to disseminate information, and also to move some of their vigilante men to blocking some of the routes where these foreign criminal elements might want to pass through. So all of this will be needed. And like I said, Edo State government has already started preparing and buying vehicles, branding them as we speak. And people are coming on their own personal volition to support this cause. And I think it was because of our achievement that actually spurred the Edo people in diaspora, because the government is their government. It's the government that is supported for the re-election of Governor Obaseki. And I'm so impressed that you are following up on development on what Obaseki is doing and what his cabinet is doing. This is one of it. And you have also chosen in your own personal volition to still support this security issue. I mean, it can only get better. This is the very first time that we are having people having interest. I love this platform that you people have. I've been speaking to a lot of Edo people on several platforms. The reason I choose to sacrifice my time to doing this is that this news, just like our daddy ambassador, sorry, I think I remember. Ambassador Waifu. Yes, most of the videos, most of the pictures they send to our people in diaspora. Sometimes our people back home here, they want to form stories just to see how they can extort their people living abroad. My number is very available. I can give it to you. I know all the picture and the map of Edo State is on my palm. I have been here. I have been a unit commander here. I have been a Mopo acting squadron commander here. I have been ADC here. I've been CSO here. I'm now special advisor. There is no community you want to mention in Edo State that I have not traversed. So if you need information about the happening in Edo State, call us. If you want me to be on video, I'll be on video and I will tell you the truth on the ground. So do not allow yourself to be pushed more than necessary for people to be feeding you with fake information about happenings in Nigeria. Nigerian guys like to send terrible pictures into the net to make Nigeria look as if we are dagger drone. We have our challenge. Every country in the whole world have their own challenges. And we are also finding local solutions to our problems. So I do not think we have a problem with that. So I've dealt with the issue of criteria. Is the community that is recruiting. We will train. If you recruit armed robber and give to us, we'll train the armed robber and send back to you. It's as simple as ABC. So that tomorrow you not say, oh, government recruited armed robber and said, oh, no, you recruit and send it to us. When you send it to us, we'll do the needful. That's it. So talking about the obtainability, this, by the time this structure is built, it will be institutionalized and the budgetary allocation will be made. Even as we speak, government is still striving to make sure they create a little resources for this outfit to take off on a strong note. It's not an outfit that anybody can just dispel and say, what are they doing? It is clear. It's clear. So Edo State government is getting ready. Just once we deal with the security aspect of it, we will launch it and the whole world will see it. The money will come from both government and private individuals. The streets, they are also trying in their, some streets are contributing, and where I even have a rented apartment in GRA here, I pay about 4,000 every month to service those vigilantes there. So this is a system that is not new to all of us. But however, if by the time it's institutionalized, government will take full control by paying certain stipends to these people so that they can relieve people of certain, or to reduce or the burden on the people of Edo State. But by and large, the number is big. It's going to be even bigger because the communities are coming every day to my office, submit their name, we see their men, put them on this, and we tell them what we have to tell them. So over time, it's going to be bigger than the cost of any government. But we know that with the contribution of the locals and everybody, and now the diasporas are getting involved. By the grace of God, this institution will be built, and it will be for the benefit of Edo people. Then Oga Musa Amedu, let me thank you. I didn't even know that you have returned back to your base. It's nice talking to you again. Well, we just wanted to see through what we are doing. There's nothing hidden in what we are doing. That's why I took you through all that we are doing. Yes. Our command and control center. Yes. We also had a robust meeting with the deputy governor, who also told you most of the things that we are doing, and that's it. For this government, is not a government that is hiding anything. As long as you are an Edo person and you are ready to, you want to see what we are doing so that you can tell others, we are ready to let you see what we are doing. We are not hiding. We are here to work for the people, and that's exactly what we are doing. Let me, Mr. Egariba Kennedy from Japan, you talked about registering our communities, villages, camps, and registration of houses, all of this you mentioned, and that the communities can pay vigilantes. Yeah, some communities are already doing small contribution for this vigilante. But talking about registering the housing and this, about 2 weeks, week before last, Edo State government launched what they call Edo Mega. That is the registration of all the houses. And the people are already I think about 3 weeks ago, it was launched. The people have already been, I think we have about 1,000, close to about 1,500 young graduates have been recruited by Edo State government, and they are already payrolled, and they have already commenced the enumeration of all the buildings in Edo State and all the numbers of people. They know how many people are living in a house and the number of communities and the number of houses there. All of this, we've started doing. That you talked about has already commenced. I just want to let you know that we are also thinking in that direction. And Edo State government has since recruited people and deployed them for that exercise. I'm sure before the end of this year, they will come up with who we are and what we are in Edo State, the number of houses and number of human beings on practical note in Edo State. They will come up with it. Let me also, Mr. Sanda Lee Iguma, you said your question was already been said by someone else. That's fine. Then our daddy Ambassador Matthew Wifo. Well, you have readily said, you said everybody's opinion is important. Edo State government do not believe that we have omnibus knowledge about running of government. And that's why our doors are opened, that we accept every criticism as long as it's constructive. And we also encourage people to advise us in the best way that they think we can do things better. And that's why things have been working for us. Things have been working for us. Because when we speak to you people in this manner, we immediately start seeing the sign of development. Foreign investors are coming in, local investors are coming, our people in diaspora are now beginning to bring their money home and developing our state. For me, things are getting better. I can't tell you the number of companies that have sprung up in the last 2 or 3 years. So many of them there, so many. In all the areas, industrial, agriculture, production, all of them, they are just all over. They are everywhere. I do not know when our people are running, why the foreign investors are rushing into Edo State, but our people are running because there are people back here are feeding them with wrong information so that they can keep running and be sending their money to them to spend for them. Please call us. If you want to come and invest your money in Nigeria, call us. We will support you. We will waive the necessary area where we're supposed to waive government revenue, and you start your project. We've done that for a lot of people. Let me talk about somebody. Okay. Mr. And I want to thank Ambassador Matthew Waifo. I want to thank you from the depth of my heart, because in fact, the area I didn't touch, you went there. You even took your time to go around the nooks and crannies of Edo State, just for you to be able to speak with some level of authority. I really, really appreciate you. And I want to urge you, sir, I will drop my number on this platform, if you don't mind, sir, so that when next you are in Nigeria, I would like to see you and probably ask you to see His Excellency. We talked about, okay, Mr. Elvis, NAIJA Watch. He said, you asked, he said, what advice do we have for our people in diaspora? The advice I have for our people in diaspora is that what Ambassador has said, tune down on the negativity, he said, tune your negativity down. It's a very strong advice, because our people keep sending terrible videos that never occur in Nigeria to our people abroad. I was in Canada in October last year to November, and I appeared at one television, Neighbor TV, which is owned by an Edo lady. And for 3 hours, Edo people in Canada were interrogating most of these videos. They are untrue. 90% of them are untrue. The good side of Nigeria, they won't tell you. They will be telling you as if they don't even want our people to work and come home. I don't know what the thinking of these characters are. So please, that is my advice. Tune down on all the on negativity, and call us when you need to hear the truth about happenings in Nigeria. Call us. I will drop my number effortlessly. Anybody can have it at the end of this meeting. Then you said, what are we doing in trying to secure the property and investment of Edo people in diaspora? Sir, your property is saved in Edo State. Number one is that the tax that used to be manual, when people go around, thugs go around and say they are collecting revenue for Edo State government, has since been stopped. Now it's online, and it has been so reduced to an affordable rate. And since coronavirus started, we even stopped the payment of taxes in most places. I think they just started it by a month ago, or thereabout January, and it has been reduced so that every business can survive. Government is trying to survive, so every other person should be able to survive. So all of these are there. If you want security, and you know that, okay, you want to secure your property or your business, call us. If it is police, the police, all the security agencies, they are under the state government. They are in our State Security Council. We can help you write a letter to them, and they will deploy security to your wherever you have your company. They will secure it for you. That is going forward. But if you are here and you are even afraid that you're moving around, come to me. I will provide all the security that you need for you. If you want me to be following you around, I will follow you, and just to guarantee that you are safe in Edo State. So this I guarantee you. If you have property that people want to encroach upon, Edo State government have since launched a private property what's it called, committee, and they will look at all the issues. And if somebody encroaching your property, we will retrieve your property and give to you, and that person will be charged to court. We have police in that property. We have Edo people, prominent people in that committee, and they are doing a lot. Every day they sit and they look into the issues that borders on all these small boys selling people's land and houses and encroaching. So if you don't know the approach, just call me. Send your people to me, and I will introduce them to the committee, and your problem will be solved. This is the much I can say about property and your investment in Nigeria. You said, what are we currently doing about the Fulani herdsmen? I have said so in my statement. As we speak now, in the last 1 month now, no kidnapping. The reason is that they now know that the kind of vigilante we have now, the bush that the police cannot enter to attack these kidnappers, my vigilante will enter. And not just one vigilante. If you kidnap one person now, if you go to Auchi Road, you see my vigilante on the road. If you go to Lagos Road, you see my vigilantes on the road. All the roads in Edo State, we have vigilantes there. We have the vigilantes that are patrolling. We have the ones that are stationary. If anything happens, all of them moving. So even the kidnappers, they are afraid. And that's why they are relocated to another state. Last week, Delta State government said Edo State is the state that is giving them problem now. And why? He said we have now strengthened our security, and all the criminal elements in Edo State are now moving into Delta State. It tells me that what we are doing is yielding results. So, and with this, your meeting and all the questions, you are only strengthening us to do much more. And we are going to do the best. Then let me go to the next question. And I thank you. You said you will use your platform, the NAIJA Watch, to also support Edo State government in fighting insecurity. We welcome that, and may God bless your industry and bless your decision to do so. And you suggested a GoFundMe where they can see what government is doing with the resources. And that's why I've said at the beginning of this meeting that whatever resources that anybody want to have, or any association or group have raised to support Edo State government, if it's in liquid cash, you should check, come and present it. When you come, before your money is put into use, they will show you the way government want to spend that money. That's what this government have been doing. Because you put your mouth where you put your money. There is no way, just like what happened during the campaign and election. For every cover that came from outside government, it was analyzed and it was published. So I don't think the governor that we have is from a finance background, and he knows and is very, very prudent, and he will put the money into use so that the owner can know that the money is working. So he said, okay, so you'll be willing to support us. We are very, very grateful. Okay, I think that's appeared to be the last person that added his own voice to this meeting. Anyway, yes. I do not know if I have covered all the questions, but those are the ones I just
yes,
said.
for that session, that is the last one. We still have some persons in the house who still want to ask 1 or 2 questions, but we're going to take few questions because we've been here for like more than an hour. So we want to take few questions so that we can wrap it up. And I know with the way Mr. Haruna has been talking, I think it will be very, very possible to be doing this often.
Of course, I am available, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, let's hear from the lady in our midst, our mother, Madam Felicia Usahon. Please unmute and contribute.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nice being here. I welcome everybody. I appreciate everyone for taking part of this. My question is this, sir. Those days, we used to have what is called the forest guide. According to my father, Mr. Ambassador Owifo, as he said, that he went around the villages, the local governments. So I want to know if there's any plans in recruiting forest guards into our forest, so they can easily take care of the forest, because the vigilantes are not forest guards. If we are not protected, most of us want to go back home to farm. I belong to an association of farmers, but I don't know how to start. I'm scared. Not only me, most of us are scared to come back home and start farming. I've heard of this. There's an American guy who came last time, years back. The cattle, they took the cattle to his farm and they destroyed all his acres, all his plantation. So we are scared. That was not a scam. We all knew of that and we saw it. That was from along Sapler Road, if I'm not mistaken. So we are now scared, sir. So I don't know if there's any possibility of recruiting forest guards to combat our forest, because forest guards are not vigilante, as I said earlier on. Thank you. That's my question.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, madam. The next person now would be our brother, Mr. Sylvester Aluko. Please, we are still standing on the existing protocol of using 2 minutes, please.
Thank you very much, everyone, and I greet everybody on the platform. Good evening once more.
Thank you.
I want to seize this opportunity to thank Mr. Haruna. You've been very explicit with your analysis of the current situation on ground based on security. And then I also want to use this opportunity to thank Ambassador Matthew Beke, because with the analysis you gave on your Edos State tour, you know, I thank you because, you know, before now, I'm also one of those that have never, most of the time, believe on these postings that I see on the net, on the internet and some of our pages, you know, on all these gruesome murders and all that. I've always had this thought and believe that could this be real? But with you telling us about your movement from one end to the other, the places you could reach in Edo State, and giving us on, you know, first-hand analysis of what you saw as somebody who also lived outside the country, it is very, very welcoming and pleasing. And back to Mr. Haruna, you've been very explicit, but there was a thing you said within the time you were explaining. You talked about the fact, or better still, this vigilante thing came apart from the fact that there have always been the existence of vigilantes, but this very particular one that brought about this discussion came up as the emergence of insecurity within, you know, within this period of time in the nation generally. But let's particularize those states, you know. And it's like these vigilantes that are on ground right now, they are all voluntary people. They just volunteer to do this thing by themselves. It is just now maybe that the government have decided to back them up from what I'm understanding from your explanation. And then in the course of your saying, you said, even these people, they are not being paid. Okay, that is quite understood. So I now ask, my question is there any intention, in as much as they have now been, like their activities have now been taken over, or better still, wanting to be coordinated by the state? Is there any intention, you know, within this bigger coordination that these people will be paid, be put on payroll? Is there any intention that they will be placed on payroll? Because this one will boost their morale to do, you know, even more better than what they are doing now. Since as volunteers, they are doing what they are doing. But if they are paid, they are put on payroll, at least it will boost their morale to do more better. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Aluko. this is the last session of piling up questions. I want to call our father, Mr. Patrick Gobadia, to unmute and ask his question. Sir, you are mute. You can...
Okay. Good evening, everybody, for giving me this opportunity to be here. Mr. Haruna, good evening. I met you twice in your office when I came to Nigeria. I'm Dr. Gobadia. My question, you've spoken well, everybody. My question now goes like this. We are talking everything now. How are we going to go against corruption? If we Nigerians, the Edos, we are built up in my mindset of corruption. When you are, how do we fight against corruption? If corruption is not being fighting, it's not being fought, how can somebody be secured? Because it is disheartening. We are now taking our vigilantes so serious. What would be the position of the police reformed? So disheartening too. After the answers, the police now went away. Instead of to defend our properties. To finish all, Haruna, you know more better about my case. The committee set up at the governor's office to protect properties by the CDR for the community. Nobody has been arrested. Thank you. This is my question.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. It's well noted. We are adding just 2 to this question so that we'll end this question season. Mr. Christopher in Abulele, please, you have the floor. Please unmute.
Yeah, thank you very much, my president. And I want to use this opportunity to thank everybody that have contributed, most especially Mr. Haruna for making time for this meeting. So I'm going to commend your efforts and everything you've said and explained so far. Mine is not much of a question, but a suggestion. So I think it will be very important for, I know you said already that the state government has already started the process of registering all the houses in the state. I think the government also have to make it compulsory for every landlord and landlady to register all the tenants in their houses. There needs to be a record of every member in the state, both all the landlords and landladies and all the tenants in their houses. With that, it will be possible, like the normal track and trace, so that we can know who is living in our different communities. So that people that are just moving into the different communities, they will have a record of them. Because I remember back in the days, people can just move into a community, commit havoc, and before you know it, they'll park overnight and run away. But there needs to be a record of every person that is living in the community. And every person that comes into every community need to, if it's going to be with your John Way or with the councillor or the local government chairman, the government has to make effort to have every citizen of the state register so that we have a record of every person in the state. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Christopher. It's well noted. We are taking the last one from Apostle Steve. Apostle Steve, please unmute yourself and contribute.
Thank you very much. I don't know, Mr. Haruna, you waived one of my questions, so I will find you 1 million naira. Thank you very much, and thank you for taking your time to really answer a lot of our questions. I'm glad. I know there's no problem that is solved in this world. Since I was born, I knew that when one problem comes, when one is finished, another one will come. And until we leave this world, there will be always be a problem. The thing that I thought, what I asked was that why is it that the federal government cannot curb insecurity? Because in Benin, we used to say, what that means that when a river get polluted from the source of the water, then all the river become polluted, and all those who drink from that river, we equally be starved of thirst. So why is it that the federal government cannot curb insecurity in Nigeria? Like you rightly said, we have seen foreigners in Benin, people from Senegal, people from Mali, people who are not part of, even though we are in the Western country, all of them are coming to Nigeria and committing havoc, and then we begin to support one another. The Fulani that I know, I grew up in Zaria, Sabongeri. I can equally tell you the number 89 Club Street, Sabongeri, Zaria. I attended Army Children's School in Zaria there by the club where their stadium there. I knew the Hausa were very, very lovely people. But this kind of Muslim we have today is so scary. How do we really solve this problem? And that's my question. I'm sorry for if I take, I don't think I got up to 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That is the last question for this session. Before we bring in the guest speaker, I would want to advise everybody here. I will appreciate you all for coming. Please, we are not ending it here. This is a beginning of a new thing. You know, the Edos in diaspora, in conjunction with NIGERIAN, we will be doing this often, not just on security matter alone. We just want the government to, announce its cabinet. You know, so many areas will be, bringing in government officials like this to give us information about what is going on in our dear states. So please, 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 whenever we call for a Zoom meeting like this, please, it is very, very important that we should please be part of it so that we can also tell other people about what we are getting, information, original information that we are getting from the government. It is very, very important. Thank you very much for coming. So I'll leave the floor for Mr. Haruna.
I'm sorry.
The question. After that,
I have a suggestion. If there is an account where they can pay money, because it has been difficult, so many people want to contribute, but I don't want to go through anybody if they do, that is going to the direct to the.
No, we are going to work that one out.
Okay.
Those in diaspora organization, NIGERIAN, we are going to have a meeting with Mr. Haruna after this very session. Okay. Then we will come out with a conclusion. Then we'll tell those in diaspora on how to go about it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So as I was saying, after this very session, after Haruna answers the questions, we are going to bring in our father of those in diaspora, Ambassador Matthew Bekay, to round us up on this very session. So Mr. Haruna, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you once again. And I also thank everyone in the house for remaining steadfast on this meeting. Let me start from our mommy in the house, Madam Felicia Osaho. You spoke about forest guard. Me too, I don't know. They say the only thing that is constant is change. I do not know how this issue of forest guard has become a thing of the past. I do know that we still have, what do they call them, rangers or whatever now? A forest guard, but that is the rename, forest guard. I do not see them, and I do not know whether they still exist in Edo State or not. But the NSCDC, like I told you in our revamping of the Wabaizigan security outfit, we are asking the NSCDC not just to give us civil defense, but the agro rangers. These agro rangers are those that were trained to deal with issues that have to do with forests and agro-allied areas. So myself, this is an assignment you have given to me, Madam Felicia. I will go to the Ministry of Environment that is coordinating the affairs of forestry. and I would like to find out about this forest guard. The reason I said I don't know whether they are existing is that recently we had issue at Okomu National Park. I know of all the parks in Nigeria, it's only the Edo-owned Okomu National Park and that of Cross River State are the only two that is mentioned in the world record of national parks. So we are striving so hard to secure that national record. It's our treasure and it's our pride. But recently we found out that the conservator, the CP in Okomu Park, cried to us about how some unscriptural elements have descended on this park and start felling the woods. Then we try to, the Edo State government try to assist, but I must tell you that the assistance we have to give them are these people that we train under the public works volunteer, the one we call POF here, that are trained, who are those who we recruited from the waterway, they will now call them waterway security. We're the one that we had to quickly push there to stop these people from felling the wood. And a couple of lorries were arrested and the right in charge to court and all of that were done. Not to say that if we have the forest guard, probably that would have been their responsibility, but I do not know whether they exist. And I'm going to go further to also find out what has happened to that entity. You also ask about any plan to recruit them. I will also check. Then you said some of you would have loved to come to Nigeria to establish mechanized farming. Madam, I will appeal to you that the situation we have in Nigeria is not going, the insecurity situation we have, everybody is conscious of it and everybody has reason to fight it. Please, if you want to do mechanized farming, just come and meet my boss, Governor Obaseki, show us where you want to do this thing, and I can guarantee that your CFO will be given to you free and you will be supported in terms of securing the place. Yes, we have this farmer headers clash, but just this last week, Thursday, the governor met the leadership of the Fulani and the Fulani Hausa community and some traditional rulers across Edo South here. And these were the issues that we resolved. And he has already banned the operation of Okada in Edo State as we speak now. The governor has banned it because we found out that that is what they were using to either ferry their guns or ferry their food and other things to their locations. So what the government is doing is we want to gradually, you know, our law is very sensitive. Our law is sensitive. We cannot say, oh, everybody vacate our land. The law permits you to live anywhere you want to live. But our own, what we are saying in Edo State, if you want to stay with us to do your business, we are welcoming you. But if you want to come and commit crime in Edo State, stay away. So one of the rules and the, sorry about that, that whoever want to do herding business in Edo State has to register with this indigenous Hausa Fulani. If you don't do so, your cows will be confiscated, you yourself will be arrested and charged to court. So gradually, the open grazing is the avenue with which this criminal Fulani hides to commit crime. So gradually, we are already working towards stopping open grazing. Once this open grazing is stopped now, if you find anybody in the bush, then he's a criminal. And he will receive the treatment of a criminal. It's as simple as ABC. So Edo State government is already taking the direction. They are already we are already putting forward new laws that will stop open grazing. Once open grazing stop, the issue of cow eating somebody's farm will stop. The issue of Fulani criminal element carrying AK-47 and kidnapping all in the name of herding will also stop. So we'll be able to police our forest. And that's what we're working towards now. Once this new law is enforced now, I am sure that it took all the fears that you readily emphasized. So if you want to do your farming, please, this is the time to come and establish it. And I can guarantee that before the end of this year, It's already getting reduced. You can see the dry season is going away now, and we have not had much of a farmer herders clash in Edo State this particular dry season. Last year it was much, but this year we're able to reduce it so much that we didn't have so much crisis. I'm sure next dry season will be better, when we would have completely stopped open grazing. So the solution is just around here, and people can be able to do farming without any fear. I want to speak about what Mr. Sylvester Aluku. We thank you so much, sir. And you ask that your observation is that the current vigilantes are volunteers. And when you say so, you will be right. The thing is that if you don't take the war to the doorstep of your enemy over time, and they are already hitting your neighbor, you say it no concern you. It will concern you when it will concern you. The issue here is that everybody, it had become not just a volunteer, it has become a movement, has completely become a revolution. It has become a revolution that the Association of Hoteliers went in my office on Friday, and they said, look, Haruna will join you in this. Association of all kinds of association, market, everybody is joining. They say we will not participate in the open going to arrest, but we will be feeding you with information about criminal elements in our area. So it has become a revolution. It's a revolution as it is now. It is gaining so much attention that everybody wants to be part of it. And that is the idea. The idea is be part of it, the movement. If you cannot fight, you can give us information. If you cannot move, stay where you are, just give us about your area. We will do the balance of the situation. So everybody has volunteered to join in the fight against criminality, crime and criminality in Edo State. That is how it is. But going forward, you now ask whether about the payment. Like I told you, Edo State don't ask people to work free. But the thing is that it's an organized government, and we are working on ensuring that we structure this in a way that government can receive government attention. Of course, government will place them on stipend. I said we have not done so now. Most of these people are those who are getting money are those who are being paid by local government authority, and those who have been paid by street or community before. But going forward, government is now going to take over those responsibilities or make a budgetary allocation to local government so that every vigilante man in the state can be entitled to monthly stipend. And not just that, we are also going to provide them with the facility to do the job. More importantly, the vehicles, to have vehicles, motorcycles, and even ordinary bicycle. All of these are important. And this is what Edo State government is working on now. But at the end, at the end of all the processes, they will be subjected to their own monthly remuneration. And that will be very, very soon. You ask whether there's any plan. Yes, there's a big plan for that. There's a very, very big plan for that. They will be paid. Then Dr. Patrick Gubadia, you asked a question about how do we curb corruption, or how do we fight it? I am not sure I am competent to address this topic, because when we talk about corruption, I also spoke about what will be the essence of police reform. The new police reform that the IG has announced, we are all yet to see how, the structural note of it, or how it's going to play out. But we're all waiting to see how the police will be restructured. But talking about corruption in Nigeria, so the corruption in Nigeria can only be addressed when the right thing is done. I'm speaking as someone who has been in the force, and someone who has been close to government, and someone who also have masters in policy and development. Our problem as it concerns corruption is from the top. Number one is that our security anywhere in the whole world where corruption has been fought and defeated, it is the institution that you fight that matters. In Nigeria, the institution that is supposed to fight corruption is reduced to the status of a beggar. And when an institution that is supposed to fight corruption is reduced to the status of a beggar, you know that for a man who is eating from your pot, he can never arrest you, even when you are doing the wrong thing. The police is the prime security agency anywhere in the whole world that can be used to fight corruption. But as we speak in Nigeria today, police among all the uniform services collect the smallest money. That's why I said at the beginning of this meeting, I said our Nigerian federal government is like a father. Children to be subsequent one. They recruit soldiers, they will recruit police and send them to state. But it's state that is now funding the activity and the operation of all the security agencies. For you to know how bad it is. Because when you have a child that you are not catering for, then if someone else is catering for your child, that is the actual parent of that child. That is what is happening in Nigeria. Most of these federal agencies that are security agents that are posted to states, they have been sponsored, maintained, and the operational this thing is being catered for by various state governments. Where does that happen? Then, if a state government is now corrupt, how can that police arrest that person? How? It's not going to happen. At the federal level, those are attached to me, the policemen are attached to minister. Even the commissioner of police who posted them, that's where he's also expecting small things to help him. Do you know the take home of a retired commissioner of police at the end of every month? It's not up to 100,000 or it's not more than 100,000 after retirement. So would the man not think of when he retire, what would he be eating? So how can the corruption stop? Corruption may not stop early until they of having to place the reorganization that's supposed to be the institution to fight corruption in Nigeria. If the problem of security is not addressed, the problem of corruption will not necessarily be addressed. So I don't want to talk too much on this because the problem is, I can use the whole of hour to discuss the issue of corruption in Nigeria. But I do think that that is the root. The foundation is that our people, Nigerian government should think of how to take care of their security agencies so that they can be independent in their decisions. They can arrest anybody they want to arrest. They can investigate whoever they want to investigate. Why is EFCC doing better? Why is everybody shouting EFCC? Are policemen not there? The policemen there, can you bribe the policeman in EFCC? It's because his take home at the end of every month is good enough. He has all the facilities available. He's entitled to a house. He's entitled to a car. He has the communication gadget. He has everything he needed to do his job. You can't bribe an EFCC police. It's the same Nigerian police that are there. I would have thought that the reason they put few policemen in the EFCC is to see how police can function. Now that they saw that the police are doing well there, why did they not introduce that to the entire body? So that the entire Nigerian police force can have the same benefit that the EFCC police and ICPC police are getting, so that they can put them above board, they can live an independent life where no man can entice them with small bribes. Until we do that, we are not necessarily going to get out of trouble. And I don't know whether this reform is taking care of that. I hope it takes care of it. So let me leave that for that because I don't want to run my mouth too much here. We also let me also, Mr. Christopher Enabulele, you said government should make it this exercise the government flag up now. You should make it compulsory for tenant landlords, landladies. That is exactly what we are doing, sir. Not just the landlord, the landlady, and tenants. If you look at the form, even in the house, how many graduates, how many of them are working, how many are not working, how many graduates, what is anybody doing, are you a driver, all of that is in this form. So it's a full-blown kind of statistical data exercise. So I think by the time it's out, it will be published and the whole world will see it. And finally, Apostle Steve Oscar, he said, why is it that the federal government cannot solve the insecurity in Nigeria? Because our federal policies is not designed to solve insecurity. And I'll give you 2 instances. Number 1, now the state where you are over there, either US, Europe, or wherever you are, have you seen where somebody will want to copy another man's style? You copy the part that will satisfy your private intention and leave the major part of it. We are copying the American democracy. In American democracy, do they have one police and no other state or counties? Every police. In Nigeria, you only have one centralized police where all the resources are pushed into. And you know it's a regimented force, the way it is in Nigeria. A commissioner of police cannot call IG and say, IG, we don't have money to buy petrol here. Who is the commissioner of police that will do that? Now, we don't, the United Nations has said the police are in short supply in Nigeria, that one policeman is supposed to police 400 persons. But in Nigeria, one police is policing the whole community. So how can it work? And one big man is going around with 20, 40 policemen. So we don't have it. The structure that is built, the security architecture of the federal government is not built to provide security for Nigerians. Okay, look at what we are doing now. Supposing in Nigeria, supposing the federal government have their police like they have now, beautiful. Every state have police. Local government also have their police. Do you think we'll have the kind of insecurity that we have now? All these 3 stages cannot collapse at the same time. And that's why I said at the onset of the meeting that what Governor Obaseki is building several layers of security. So that at any point, if one fails, the other one will not necessarily fail. That is what makes sense. We copy the democracy in America, and we are not practicing the same in Nigeria. So we are running more or less like a unitary system of government. It's not going to work. We have one chief of army staff in Abuja, and he's the one to make sure he sends money to all the states, whether he likes or whenever he chooses to send money or to send logistics. It cannot work like that until this power is decentralized. Then we will have the kind of security, at least for the police. Decentralize the police, decentralize their powers, decentralize their welfare. Then we will have security. Then the army can do whatever they want. It's okay. But what we have now, it cannot help. The policemen are in their division. Do they have motor? All the vehicles they are using are procured by state governments or dashed from community. Where do you run a country like that? Most of the divisions across the country, they have only one vehicle that they flog day and night. How can it work? When you call police that something is happening in your house, is he going to use his personal motor to come and solve it? He will just tell you we are coming, and that's it. You remain there. So there are several reasons why insecurity is persisting in Nigeria, because we have not done the right thing. We have not built the kind of security architecture that can curtail insecurity. But in Edo State, we are not going to continue to lament. We are not going to continue to complain. We have taken it upon ourselves. What they are not doing at the federal is exactly what we are doing now. By the time we build security across communities, all local government have, all the streets have, let me see where the criminal element will hide. If criminal hide on your street, or whoever that is in that will be held liable. How did this person come into the community and build a house for criminals to come and hide? The landlord will also be a problem. So everybody now is a stakeholder in Edo State security network. So don't allow criminal in your own area. I will not allow in my own area. If we all agree that we don't want a criminal to hide in our area, where are they going to hide? Even the Fulani will not be able to enter Nigeria, Edo State and do nonsense. So it's not, and you talk about the Muslim we have. No, it's not Muslim. These Fulanis are not Muslims. So let me just tell you, they are not Muslims. Do they pray? They don't. They are not Muslims. They are not. If they are Muslim, they will be raping women up and down. They are not Muslims. They are just criminal. Don't associate them with the tribe or this. They are criminal. That's what we should call them. And the more reason we have to fight them. Because if you are putting religion or their tribe or something, you are just helping them to have an argument anywhere. Call them what they are. They are criminal element, and we have to fight them like criminals. Simple. We don't want to know whether they are Fulani or this. If we see any criminal in Edo State, we will fight the criminal. That's what we are saying. So let me thank all of you again for inviting me to this platform, and I pray that all this that we have said, God will support us to make Edo work and work for the people in the manner that all of us will be happy about. And it's going to be a very strong legacy that you all can live for, even the children yet unborn. I thank you, and may God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. May God bless you. May God bless you for your time. We really appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much. Let's bring in our father, Ambassador Matthew Beke Uwaifo.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we do. We are hearing you.
You hear me? Okay. I just, on behalf of those in Diaspora and all the people gathered here, I just want to thank you all for being patient and for taking time out to join this broadcast. The president of Edos in Diaspora, whose passion for things Edo and passion for his people always shines out, like this program which he has put together. I would say kudos to you, sir, and say that you should keep up the good work. We want to thank Mr. Yusuf Haruna for the wonderful job that he is doing in Edo State, even appearing in this program. I know how much sacrifice that means to him. And I know that in his heart of hearts, he wants to leave a legacy where his children and children's children are secured. Now, I want to quickly every Edolite here and please spread the news. Just like I said, I only mentioned just a few places. Like, for example, one incident. Uronigbe, Iyekoriamo, that have been in Uronigbe camp as Friday, and I left Uronigbe on Sunday. They had all gathered with their leader, had a meeting with the local people, and they said, we've been here for over 25 years. Did we cause any harm? We did the people for Enogie or Odionwere. We want to join you also in the Fulanis. And the evolution going on in the Edo State right now is security conscious. Everybody wants to be involved. The hoteliers, the drivers, the ladies, the Keke Napel Association, everybody has risen up. And I want to say that right now, the Governor Godwin Obaseki, he might be he's not saying so many things, but put on the ground constant of, I can attest to that. Not just because I'm a sycophant or a blind follower. I can see what is happening on the ground. And to answer Madam quickly about the agro rangers, because myself talking to you, I'm a farmer. That is what brought me home. I said, I'm not going to let the Fulani deter me from, making my investment in my own land. If we all stay away, who is going to to develop the state. Rangers were investigating Ministry of Environment. We see that we have agro rangers. We have village hunters, those people who used to go into the villages. And for the Esan people in Edos State here, there was something I found out between Ekpom and Ewoimi. They used to have a tradition whereby the leaders will gather and they bring out this big sack and call out ants into the forest. And that ceremony was done. The ants start biting the people in the forest. And all the people, all the criminals in the forest run for their life because the ants will be biting them. But surprisingly, you might be shocked that those ants don't bite the locals. They bite foreigners, you see. So there are so many things being put in place. And if people are checking the internet, you will see that 3 weeks ago, 5,000 Fulanis ran away from Edo State, heading for Kogi State through Okbila.
Correct.
It was captured, but people don't pay attention to that. Finally, I just want to say, a lot of false news is being peddled by people because a lot of people either to build houses, either to co-components, that is their relatives and everybody, they are not be done. So one of their strategy is to spread false rumor. Come home is not safe. It is not all right. Just to make sure that their secrets are not discovered. And finally, I want to say, if you check everywhere, Benin now, the Fulanis are taking over everywhere. Why? They are the ones who push the truck to sell the onions. Our people will not sell it. They are the ones who move blocks. They are the ones who do all the menial jobs. All our people want is to go to the diaspora. So we have a problem from the grassroots that need that our people should be educated. The government is doing that. Yes. There is water. Finally, I want to thank NIGERIA Watch. I am a follower of NIGERIA Watch. And anytime I see your programs, I get elated. You are doing a marvelous work. And even if people don't say thank you to you, God will say thank you to you. I support the job you are doing. I support the work you are doing. And I know all the efforts we put together, Lights who came to this program
network
today.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Right, we are facing some network there with our father there.
We talk
I think
all our Edo State will be a better place to live in. And please, let's carry that message. The only thing to fear is fear itself.
All right.
Savvy, intelligent, and anything we want to achieve.
Thank you very much, sir. Bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, thank you everyone. We really appreciate every one of you today for your time with us to make this happen. We wouldn't have been able to do this without your effort, your time, and your contribution as well. We want to once again thank Mr. Yusuf Haruna for a good job that he's doing in Edo State. You know, we appreciate you very much, sir. We want you to continue to do this so that you can make all Edos, not just Edos at home, but both Edos in diaspora, make every one of us proud. Thank you, everyone, once again. I'm going to hand over to my colleague here so that we can call it a day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I will say thank you again to Mr. Haruna. Thank you to our fathers, mothers in the house, brothers and sisters. Thank you for attending this Zoom meeting of Edo State Security. By the grace of God, next week, Tuesday, we will be having the next session of this Zoom meeting. Please invite friends. Let them know that we're talking about security of our dear state here. Please, on Tuesday, same time, we'll be having this same security meeting by the grace of God. Thank you very much once again, Mr. Haruna. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you so much. I have dropped my number. I've dropped my number on the
chat board. Yes, it's there. Yes.
On the chat board.
Thank you very much.
To give to anyone
Thank you.
Who wants
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Please do it again.
So I think it's time to call it a day. We've done well today. So we'll meet again on Tuesday, same time, 7:30. And may God bless you all and have a good night rest. Thank you.
Amen. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
bye.
man.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Thank you all.